We've been hearing from injured servicemen about how they've coped after being blown up in Afghanistan. But what's of the young women who support them and stand by them? Claire Smith thought her world had ended when she received a phone call to say boyfriend Corporal Andy Reid was being flown home to Selly Oak Hospital, a triple amputee. They'd only been dating for 11 months. But less than 2 years on, she says it's made their relationship stronger, and in just over a fortnight, they'll be married.
I was absolutely devastated. It was more sort of being in shock than anything. I was just bothered that he was alive. That was all I was bothered about. And it did enter my mind because I'd never heard of anyone being injured, especially to that extent. I thought, how can he survive through this? So I just had to sort of keep saying to myself, he's alive, he's alive, he's alive, and that's all that matters. He was very poorly, but when I used to put my hand on his chest, I could feel, when I spoke to him, he must have been able to hear me because his heart was really pounding. And I put my hand on his chest, and when he was still more or less unconscious, he put his hand on top of my hand. So it was just lovely little things like that. Every day you were seeing progress. We knew it was a shock for him, obviously, after what had happened, waking up. I mean, he didn't know where he was and he didn't know what was going on. But after the initial waking up and he'd come round, he knew who I was straight away. To know that he was then almost out of danger, that was right, he's here, now he's waking up. So this is another good sign of, again, every day something is happening. I just found myself just being in constant amazement at what he'd achieved, and every day, he would do something else, and I thought it would take a long time. I mean, the first time he started walking was less than 3 months after he got injured, and as I say, when I first arrived at the hospital, I didn't know if he would ever be able to walk. When I have my low moments, Andy picks me up, Andy, puts things into perspective, and the same goes for when he's having his low moments. We're in this together, we help each other, and we're just so happy that he's still here that we just can't help but be positive, and just think how lucky we are. I don't think it's changed that much. I mean, it takes us longer to get ready to go out, but Andy does do a lot for himself. I mean, he will make us a cup of tea, he'll make breakfast, he'll do some washing. He does do things just as he did before, really. So we still try and share the responsibilities of everything that we do. I try not to think of how things would have been. I just try and look at what's going to be, and I think we're going to have a really great future together, and as long as just make the most out of every situation and just keep focused and be positive, then that'll keep us going. He took me on holiday. We stopped off and went into a little country pub and sat there, and then I turned round and he was down on one knee, and that was something that I'd never know, I didn't know that he could do. And it's from the prosthetics, it's not an easy job getting down onto one knee. And then he asked me to marry him, so obviously said yes. There's so much that he can do. I know that he won't be in his wheelchair in the wedding. I haven't really had to do as much as I thought I would have to. I just think it's just going to be the most amazing day, and to be there with family and friends who've just supported us massively, to share our day, and just, I think it's going to be a real tearjerker, to be honest.